Calm is not something you add to a studio apartment. It is what remains when you remove the things that prevent it. Japanese minimalist design, specifically the modern approach applied in compact studios, not the traditional aesthetic most people picture, has understood this for decades. The first thing calm studio apartments never have is the decorative object that is present for neither function nor genuine meaning. The object purchased because a surface seemed to need something on it, or because it coordinated with something else, or because it was on sale near the checkout and seemed like a reasonable addition to the room. Japanese minimalist design applies a principle called kanso, roughly translated as simplicity through the elimination of what is not needed, that treats every object in a space as requiring justification. Not aesthetic justification, not the justification of looking nice or completing a composition, but genuine justification. This object is here because it serves a function, or because it carries a meaning specific enough to earn the space it occupies. The decorative object without meaning fails this test, not because it is ugly, but because it is neutral. It occupies visual attention without rewarding it, consumes space without contributing to the experience of the space, and accumulates alongside other neutral objects until the studio contains enough of them to feel permanently busy. Removing them does not make the studio feel empty. It makes the objects that remain feel chosen, and chosen objects, even modest ones, create calm in a way that accumulated neutral objects never can. The second thing calm studio apartments never have is overhead lighting used as the primary, or only, light source in the evening. This is not a Japanese-specific principle, but Japanese minimalist studio design applies it with more consistency than almost any other design tradition. The reason is neurological before it is aesthetic. Bright overhead lighting maintains the hormonal conditions of alertness, elevated cortisol, suppressed melatonin, that are appropriate for daytime activity and counterproductive for the quality of calm that a studio apartment should provide in the evening hours. It is, in the most literal sense, telling the nervous system that it is still in the middle of the day when the day is over. Modern minimalist Japanese studios replace overhead light with one or two warm sources positioned low, a floor lamp in the corner, a table lamp on the desk or shelf, at 2700 K or below, which is the specific color temperature that allows melatonin production to begin and cortisol to decline. The studio does not get darker. It gets calmer. Not because warm low light is aesthetically superior, though it is, but because it is physiologically correct. It is telling the body the truth about what time it is. The third thing calm studio apartments never have, or more precisely, the thing they have eliminated as a habit rather than as an occasional failure, is the covered horizontal surface. The desk that functions as storage, the coffee table that holds what did not have a home elsewhere, the windowsill that accumulated objects that were placed there temporarily and never moved. Japanese minimalist design treats horizontal surfaces as borrowed space, space that the apartment offers for temporary use during activities and reclaims when those activities are complete. The desk is clear when not in use. The coffee table holds one object or none. The shelf contains only what was placed there with specific intention. This is not obsessive tidiness. It is the application of a specific spatial philosophy, that clear surfaces communicate rest to the brain in the same way that a clear path communicates safety, automatically, below conscious awareness, before any aesthetic evaluation occurs. A studio with covered horizontal surfaces is a studio where the brain is continuously processing information it did not ask for. A studio with clear surfaces is a studio where the brain can stop. The difference in how they feel to inhabit is not subtle. The fourth thing calm studio apartments never have is the piece of furniture that is present not because it was chosen for the space, but because it arrived at some point and was never actively removed. The extra chair that came with the set, the side table that seemed useful when it was acquired and has been in the same corner ever since without being useful. The shelving unit that solved a storage problem in a previous apartment and was moved here without the question of whether it solves a problem in this one. Japanese minimalist studio design applies a principle related to the concept of meaningful space, that treats every piece of furniture as consuming not just floor area, but the quality of the room itself. Furniture that is present by inertia rather than by active decision reduces the of the studio. It fills space without earning it, and the space it fills is not merely physical. It is visual, psychological, and spatial in the full three-dimensional sense. The test for this category is specific. If you were moving into this studio tomorrow for the first time, would you choose to bring this piece? If the answer requires more than 3 seconds, the piece is probably present by inertia rather than by decision, and removing it will not make the studio feel empty. It will make it feel like the version of itself that it was always supposed to be. The fifth thing studio apartments never have is more than one accent color, and often they have none. This is perhaps the most consistently applied principle in modern Japanese minimalist studio design, and the one that most directly produces the quality of visual calm that makes these spaces feel the way they do. The reasoning is straightforward. Every distinct color in a visual field is a separate stimulus that the brain must process and evaluate in relation to every other color present. One accent color in a neutral field gives the brain one specific thing to find and rest on. 2 accent colors give it a comparison to make. 3 give it a hierarchy to establish. 4 give it a competition to adjudicate. By the time a studio contains 4 or 5 distinct colors across its objects and textiles, the brain is doing continuous color processing work that never fully resolves. And a brain doing continuous, unresolved work cannot feel calm. Japanese minimalist studios typically work within a palette of 2 to 3 tones. The wall and floor neutral, 1 warm material tone such as wood or stone, and at most 1 deliberately chosen accent that is given enough space to be fully perceived rather than competing for attention within a crowded field. The result is not colorless. It is resolved, and resolution is the specific quality that calm requires. The sixth thing studio apartments never have is open storage used as the default solution for everything that needs storing. The shelving that began as a display surface and became a holding area, the open kitchen shelving that holds both the objects worth displaying and the objects that simply needed somewhere to go. The visible storage that solved the practical problem of where to put things while creating the visual problem of showing everything that was put there. This is one of the most common tensions in small studio design. The practical requirement for accessible storage and the visual requirement for surfaces that do not continuously generate information. Japanese minimalist studio design resolves this tension through a specific principle. Visible storage is edited storage. If it can be seen, it has been reduced to only what is worth seeing. The ceramic that was chosen, the book that is being read, the plant that is alive and tended. Everything else is behind a door, in a drawer, or gone. The distinction between edited open storage and default open storage is visible in seconds. Edited storage looks like a considered selection. Default storage looks like a room that ran out of drawers. Studios never run out of drawers because they own fewer things than require drawers, and the things they own are worth seeing. The seventh and final thing studio apartments never have is the undefined zone. The area of the studio that has not been given a clear purpose, that functions as whatever it needs to be on any given day, and that accumulates the objects and activities that did not fit clearly into the zones that were defined. In a studio apartment, every area must have a primary purpose, not because rigidity is a virtue, but because the brain processes defined spaces differently from undefined ones. A space that knows what it is asks less of the person inside it than a space that could be anything, and a space that asks less produces more calm. Japanese minimalist studio design addresses this through deliberate zone definition, even in the most compressed spaces. The sleeping area is defined by the position of the bed and nothing else encroaches on it. The working area is defined by the desk and its relationship to the light source. The living area is defined by the rug that tells the brain it has arrived somewhere specific. And between these zones, the transitions are as considered as the zones themselves. Not leftover space, but designed thresholds that give the studio a sense of movement and change that its single-room reality would otherwise flatten entirely. The studio that has defined every area, even imperfectly, even with modest means, is always calmer than the studio of identical size that left some of its space open to interpretation. Interpretation is work. Definition is rest.